All right, so we up in here. I was just looking at AMD, and I'm not gonna lie. Do you see this? So this right here looks like a cup and handle a little bit, a little bit. Low key looks like a cup to me. And then you see this is the exact same thing as this, and so it makes me think we're about to just continue up. I think we just rebounded here. I don't know. I think I want to watch for that. And right now we're above the 250, we're above the 20, and we're above VWAP. So yeah, I'm looking for this break to like five. I want to see it break past 565. See if we could reclaim 570, 72. That'd be nice. Then even getting that break to 580 would be crazy. That's what I'm gonna be looking for this week. Let's see if we could move past this 560 level. Or if we could beat 560, we got room to 570, 572, something like that, real easy. It look like I'm on 4. We got a little W, another W, another W. Just finished another W. So it really, I'm a little conflicted. I think I need to wait for more news. Looking at this pattern, we see we got this zone right here, and it tried to break out, and then it came right back into it. So is this it trying to break out again? Yeah, so I'm going to be watching AMD for 583. That seems about right. That seems about right to me. But if not, if we break below this 556, we're going back to 525. 525, 540s. That's what I see on that. Let's see what we're working with on the S&P. So this wants to reclaim 7640. I guess maybe not reclaim, but 7640 is my next level. Yeah, 7608. Where do we get to this week? Past week. Broke 760. Or 7600, didn't we? All right, maybe that was 2 weeks ago. You see right here, we hit 5620. So I wanted to reclaim 5620 and then go to 5640. Right now, I'm just looking at the charts to see if I see anything that stands out, jumps out to me. Just seeing if things make sense, if it's even clean movement. So with this doing what it is doing, I think we either have big news that drives this up, or if we get little news, I think it does a little drop and then grinds right back to about where it is. Right now we're at 75, 75. Not a bad number. So yeah, we either open up $20 or open down $20. And then that open, once it breaks a 20-point decibel in either direction, is going to decide what the day is going to do. So I'm going to look for the first 15-minute candle and see the first $20 price change. Whatever direction that $20 price change goes in. That's what I'm going to expect on the day for the S&P 500. But for the SPY, we got a straight up trajectory. So I'm not going to make a prediction like that for the SPY. I'm going to just draw my levels. So I draw my levels by just looking for 3 or more candles that are being touched. I try and keep it simple. So 755 is the high of the SPY at last trading day. If it breaks out of that 755 range, the first level down is going to be 753, 752 to 749. And it started to break the 20-day moving average in after hours. So it's going to have to reclaim that 20-day and VWAP in order for me to feel confident in a green day early on. And if we do break this 755, I honestly wouldn't go more than $3 above as my first level just for safety. It's kind of unpredictable. Let's see right here, 751 to 754 is a $3 move. So yeah, just clock in a $3 move. You should be good with that. QQQ, my baby. Well, let's see. I don't really like this movement right here. QQQ low-key been driving me crazy lately. Like this, just to turn around, man. And then Friday, this, literally, I sold like right here. 10 seconds later, bow. Like, what are we doing? But, it's the market for you. So, 726 is our level right now before it has to break and hold 726. And if we could get that, 730 is in play. And so really this week I'd be watching for 730, 732 on QQQ if it could continue this bullish momentum. And right now on the 15, it's still holding up the 250-day moving average, VWAP, and the 20-day. We got a little cross right here, 20 and the 250. Yeah, bro, all the way from 717 to 726, 10 points on the day. Monster moves. That's, bro, anybody who entered calls right here and held to here, legend. Legendary gains. I took puts on the day. I came out profitable, so I'm not upset, but to see that move happen and with all that value. So this is one indication that I use for a directional tool, is to see how much volume is in a candle. And so that big red candle had so much volume. It was the biggest volume point for the first half of the trading day and a majority of the day in general. Like, really interesting timing. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I can be amazed at the price action later. Already did AMD. Tesla. I like Tesla a lot lately. And you see it moves in decent little bursts and spurts. It was a little expensive this past week compared to the last 2 weeks. It's like a lot of the contracts were in the $300, $400, $500 range for near the money. So put this at 413. The only reason I'm going that high with it is because I know that Tesla already wants 420. Like, that's my next level in my head. We'll see right here. We got 419.92. And I've just been watching it for the last couple of weeks, so I already know what my next level is. And if we can't hold this 407, we're going back to 404 or 400. As you see, this line here is showing us this is where I had a buy indicator already for if we break 400, or if we break below 400, I have an indicator on. As if it goes below 400, we're probably coming back to 390. So with it at 407, I think it might be able to hold. It's been, let's zoom out. Let me see something. Actually, it's been trending lower. Yeah, look at this. It looked like the trend tried to reverse. Boom. Okay, but then higher. It's starting to break down. All right, you see this? Yeah, this is almost is not clean by any means, but this is almost a head and shoulders inverted almost. It's not clean by any means. I'm not going to lie to you. But that doesn't even matter because I already know my levels and I'm just going to watch for the next level. If this falls below 404, then it's going to 400. If it breaks 400, we're going to 390. If we can hold this 407, then 413 is very easily in play, especially even just early on in the morning. Like, look right here. One direction for 4 hours. So if it starts off extremely strong, like, look at that, boom, one direction for a very long time. And I'm not saying that always happens, but right here, majority of the day, one direction. Like, So if it starts off strong tomorrow and holds that 413, I believe 417 to 420 is in play very easily. But I'd want to see if it can hold those two levels. I really want to see it go back to 424 for real. See, this is what I'm saying. I have way more levels on my charts than you see all the time. And it's partially just because I don't really delete my levels until they become invalidated, in the sense that it breaks and sweeps. Like this right here, these are really close together. So like one of these definitely can go. And then I'll come in and see which one, this one right here, because it's cutting through the body of so many candles. And I'll adjust this up. And then these are really close too. So just from what I'm seeing, this looks like the tips and peaks. I don't need that. You feel me? How clean of action of a price movement can we catch, and how clean can we make our lines? And so there's no set distance that each line needs to be apart. It's just following the most common price points that are being touched. So yeah, that's that on that. And looking at this guy right here, let's see what we working with. Look like we had a little. We've been bouncing within this range right here, 310 to 316, and so 317. Looks like it might want to hold, guys. They came out busting on the 26th of last month, and we've just been on a uptrend since then for the most part. And so now it's trying to figure out where it wants to go. So between 309 and 313 is low-key becoming chop for Apple for me. And I would really just try and ride those peaks up and down for real, because as you can see, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 days of chop. But with that being said, I have a little method for this. So never mind. Looks like my method is now patched, bro. The method has been patched. It's fine. Bet you I still tagged this bit. Amazon. I don't know. I'm actually scared for Amazon. This is me just looking at the bigger scale, right? I tried to order some potatoes. They didn't have 3-pound and 5-pound bags of potatoes. And then I also tried to get some bananas. They didn't have bananas. It was like 3 different simple produce items that weren't available for purchase at the time I was looking. And the only reason that makes me skeptical is because this is one of the biggest providers of items in like America. So for them to not have simple produce makes me very curious about the supply and demand chains, especially with the fact that the man in office keeps talking about retaliation and essentially a big battle, you feel me? And so I honestly believe we're already seeing some more effects. Everyone already knows the prices of gas have been in effect and fluctuation. If you know anything about construction and stuff like that, that has all been in fluctuation. There's no raw materials, or at least not enough to go around. And then nobody wants to spend the gas it takes to haul all the raw materials back and forth, right? So, and then with the idea being that we're going to be doing more battle, who has the money to pay for infrastructure plans if we're going to be paying for military demands? Yeah, what are we talking about? And so I know this is kind of a big broadband speculation, but it really threw me for a loop that a lot of simple produce items weren't available on Amazon. And I only listed 2 or 3, but it was like 5, bro. Like potatoes and onions. Since when have we had a shortage of potatoes and onions, bro? Potatoes are some of the easiest things to grow. You just need some dirt and dark, bro. And they didn't have potatoes for purchase. Something's off, gang. And so with that being said, I'm very curious to see what's about to happen with this. And the fact that Bezos, I don't know if this is true. Let me fact check this. Let's go ahead and fact check this real quick. Oh, I saw something saying that Bezos said we might need to do something with water for AI, and just the fact that water becomes a commodity when AI becomes the focus, because it could possibly come up with a solution to stop the shortage on supply and demand. Like, what? So you're telling me AI needs water more than humans? Like, so let me see this. I saw this on the internet. It could have been false. The claim that Jeff Bezos stated humans should stop drinking water so AI data centers can have it is false. All right, I would hope he wouldn't go on a public platform and say that. Like, even if that was his mindset, bro, do say it publicly. Let us know. But that wouldn't help business at all. It says he didn't ask humans to sacrifice their hydration. The broader issue of massive water and energy consumption is very real. All right, I don't care. Initial point invalidated. Anyways, let's look at the chart. I'll stop philosophizing and we can just look at the chart. So the first thing I see is we're sitting right on the 250-day moving average. And if it breaks below this 244, at least we've tested it a little bit and we've barely broken above it. And this is the 20-day and this is VWAP, right? And so it's technically below all three of these points. Well, not all three, it's below these two for sure. It's below these two for sure and about to break this one possibly. And if that happens, we're coming here about 243 very easily. And if we break past that 243, 242 is in play, then we got 240 very easily. So yeah, with the fact that there was a lot of stuff missing from on the internet just yesterday, I'm going to be expecting downside on Amazon. And I know it kind of seems like a crazy correlation to make, but I'm going to see what my prediction, you feel me, plays out as. I'm not necessarily jumping straight in a put. I'm just going to be expecting more downside.
So we shall see. I have a feeling they're going to do this tomorrow.
Yeah, before I trust this for any upside, we have to clear 254. If we can't clear 254, I'm not really too interested. I mean, there is a lot of room between that and where it's at now. But this is the 250-day moving average on the 4-hour. And then we have it crossing here. Very interesting. A cross. And then we have this little trend here too. And it broke out of that boy. This is kind of an ugly trend line. Don't judge me. But yeah, we broke out of that boy, right? And then it trended down, boom. And then it broke out of that. And it took a straight shot one day. Let's see something. I'm not even gonna do that. I'm not even gonna. I'm curious now. I'm gonna have to watch this. I don't watch Amazon on a regular basis. I won't front. But now I'm very curious. What is it about to do? Oh, 244 to 246. Looks like the chop zone. So that's what I'm gonna be looking out for. At open, what side do we break to? And what's the midpoint? 240, I guess where we're at right now, 245. Very interesting. So look, this was the high on the day, this was the low on the day, and this is where the price decided to close at. That's literally right in the middle. That's very interesting. Literally right in the middle. So let's see if we open above 245 or below 245 at first, and then see if we can break either of these levels. Because before we have a clean decision factor, we need to break both of those. And with the fact that I already broke VWAP and the 20-day moving average, I have a feeling it's going to break the 250-day moving average next. And then from there, we're going back to 238. And yeah, with the fact that we're missing a bunch of shit, I definitely see it in play. Let's see if my prediction pans out. I like this. This is like a game. I'm ready to see what happens tomorrow. And this baby, it took off on Friday, boy. This shit was stupid. I can't front. I took a little call on it, but I got out early. As I was slightly prepared, but I didn't want to trust this big old break right here to hold. So I didn't get to reach the pinnacle of 211. This was a pretty clean move right here. I don't really use the 10 too much. I prefer the 5 and the 15 for real. Excuse me. All right, so Nvda is still above the 20-day moving average, is above VWAP, and it's above the 250 on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour, it's also above everything. Minute. So near the end of the day, it crossed moving averages twice. Honestly, this is a lot of momentum for one day. So with news being so hot and with chips still being so important, I feel like I want to say we're going to get more continuation, but it's had its sweet old time trying to get back to this 211, 212 range. But if we can go from 210 and break through this 212, 218 to 222 is in play. And it kind of looks like this might continue. Let's see. We had a trend, tried to break out of it. Boom. Made us a nice little M. We got a little cup. The cup actually ended up breaking down. Well, that makes sense though. Now I see it. Now I see it. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I think my attention span is falling off. I haven't been doing this as long as I normally do it for, but I'm a little burnt out. I'm not gonna say burnt out. I'm just a little tired today. My mind is a lot of preoccupied. Kind of starting to trend down. Big little dumper trend. I bet you this is gonna try and reclaim 132. I bet you Palantir is gonna try and reclaim 132. I feel as if it's probably gonna start off looking good to the 130 area. As you see here, it tried to come back up and then it fell. It tried to come back up and then they dropped it. I think it's gonna do the same thing but not get as high and then drop again. This is a lower high than before. Boom, lower high, lower high. And then it tried it. So yeah, I'll say we don't get over 128 tomorrow. Maybe 130. And then from 130, we dump back to 124. Either that or we recover back to 138. And if that's going to happen, this whole candle needs to be retraced in about the same amount of time.